Oh, I'm not muted. Oof. Beginner mistake. Hi, hi everybody. Welcome. Okay, I'm a bit early. I know. It's little bit less, a little bit more than 30 minutes to launch, but yes, final launch of the year. Hopefully. Well, technically, there's still one Soyuz scheduled for December, which is carrying more GLONASS satellites, one of the newest generations. But that. Last time I looked, it didn't have a date, so I don't think it is really still launching this year. But it's it's a Soyuz as well, so this is at least the penultimate Soyuz and the penultimate launch of 2020. Um, so yeah, looking like the last one, although we can't say for certain because the GLONASS is sort of secretly launched. Doesn't really, yeah. So yeah, we're this is an Arianespace Soyuz, so not the regular Russian soil launch Soyuz. Um, to be honest, I think as European, I can proudly yeah, proud of this achievement they did with Roscosmos, because the Russians don't really like to share their technology, and ESA and Arianespace got it working, and in 2011 they launched it for the first time. Um, so yeah, we have finally reached the end of 2020. So in advance, I'd like to wish all of you a happy new year. I hope you had good holidays. Um, Once more, please tell me if the audio is not okay. I can still lower it, increase it, whatever you like. Let me see if the webcast is supposed to go live. Oh, another 10-15 minutes, so that's great. Audio is good, yes. So today's launch is going to be an hour, so it's relatively short for Soyuz mission. Focus. I don't. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's increase the light a bit. Now my face is all going to get high. Yes. Um, Yesterday's launch wasn't technically a scrub because they called off the launch before they put fuel into the vehicle, and technically speaking, you're having a scrubbed launch when you've put fuel inside of the vehicle and you have to take it out. That didn't happen yesterday because at T-minus 5 hours, they have a meeting to either have the launch go forward or being cancelled and put to another date. And then half an hour later, so at T-minus 4 hours and 30 minutes, they start fueling the vehicle. And that ends at 95 minutes before launch, which is quite a contrast into what the SpaceX launches with the Falcon have, because the Falcon, of course, as you know, they start fueling it at T-minus 35 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, and they fuel it right until 2 minutes before launch, and then they set it up and go. It's because if they have a kind of different fueling process, yes, but I think it's something well, pretty different, which is kind of cool that you have such contrasts in launch vehicles. And then, of course, at T-minus 5 minutes and 9 seconds, they turn the key. And funny story, the Russians don't really count down to launch. They just turn the key and then they go. And at T-minus 40 seconds, the vehicle's going to be completely on internal power. Then at T-minus... Oh, there should be one else. Oh, forgot a step. At T-minus 2 hours... 2 hours, wow. 2 minutes and 24 seconds, you see the upper arm retract, and if you, oh, hold on, I can put up the, we have time, browser source, source, whether I put it on, yes, let's interact. Knowing how this works is so cool. Yay. Now I can make this smaller. Hey, there we go. So it's probably not that clearly visible, but right at the vehicle you have 2 arms. Well, you have technically 6, or if you count the lower 4 arms, you have 10. But the bigger arms at the side, the upper one will retract at 2 minutes and 24 seconds. That connects to the frigate stage and the third stage. It also carries the ground data lines for the satellites and the guidance system on the third stage and the frigate. And then at 28 seconds before launch, you see the lower arm retracting. And then at T-minus 16 seconds, you have ignition of the boosters on the outside. They then throttle up to 40% thrust. And then a bit later, the central core ignites, and that throttles up to 100% immediately because that doesn't have the setting to hold at 40% throttle. At T-minus 14 seconds, the boosters obviously have reached the 40% throttle. They continue to fire until 1 second before launch, then they throttle up the engines. And then hopefully at 16:42:07 UTC, we'll see liftoff. And the flight with the Soyuz is going to take about 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Then the third stage will separate. Which some people call the second stage, but I call it the third stage because the Russian call it the third stage, so it's easier to keep it the third stage. Then we'll have a short frigate burn of around 10 minutes. Well, it's the longest burn of the mission, but then roughly an hour, let's say 55 minutes into the mission, they have the second frigate burn, and then at roughly an hour, they'll separate the satellite, and hopefully everything went well and they're in orbit. This satellite is made for the, it's launched on the behalf of CNES, but it's actually then going to be handed over to the French Defense Forces because it's a spy satellite. It's very similar to the Mohammed A and B satellites. Arianespace launched on, I believe that was in Vega. Because the other one they had to switch over to Soyuz as well, but yeah. Yeah, no, just long rambling about me, about talking rockets. I just love rockets and the technology that goes into making them and how many parts that they need to work functionally or function for 100% to actually make this succeed, and that's what I find the most beautiful thing about these rockets. But yeah, Caesar 2, it's a second satellite for the in their constellation. They'll have a third one as well that will be launched in the future, also by Arianespace. Do I need to say anything else? If you have questions, as always, throw them at me. I'll take a look at the chat once in a while, and then I'll answer the questions. Right now, we're just waiting for Arianespace to go live, or it should be in about quick maths, 8 minutes, 7 minutes. Yeah. So Soyuz, of obviously the probably the most launched rocket in. It is definitely the most launched rocket in the world. Um, One of the most reliable rockets. Failures for this are, in nowadays, the era rare. Especially when there are crewed missions. If you remember, Soyuz MS-10 failing because um, the um, socket in the top part of the booster was actually, or the pin that should pull out and open the oxygen valve was slightly bent and therefore it didn't pull out, so the booster just ripped open the entire core stage. Block G is heavier than all the other boosters combined, or that, yeah, shouldn't really surprise me. 1,700 flights. Yes, that is a lot. Um, yeah. The Also something fun about this base: the Russians are actually allowed to launch their own missions from Arianespace soil, although they've never done it. Um, I don't have exactly a source on this, but I believe I read it somewhere that in the agreement with the Russians actually selling their, well, that's not really, they don't really sell their launch systems to Arianespace. It's more that they operate it behind the screens, and then Arianespace is sort of the second operator of this vehicle. Um, uh, but the agreement was that yes, they could have the Soyuz from Kourou, but then the Russians would be allowed to launch their own missions from there individually. Oh, yeah. Well, that's not really surprising. Yeah, this is not really one of those fun rideshare missions. It's also quite short because in a few months there's going to be another Galileo flight on Soyuz. That is actually because Ariane 6 isn't ready in time, so they had to move. The first flight of Ariane 6 was supposed to go with Orbcomm, but then they also had a Galileo flight, sort of competing with being the first launch. Then they gave it to not Orbcom, OneWeb. It was, I believe. Um, but then Ariane 6 of course got delayed, and now with COVID it's even delayed more. But as you might remember, the Soyuz from Kourou actually launched quite a few Galileo satellites. So what they are doing now, they switched two of the Galileo satellites over from the Ariane 6 to a Soyuz flight, which is likely going to be in the first quarter of next year. But those flights are going to take they take around 3 hours, because what they do is they launch the Soyuz into a sort of low Earth orbit or close to that. Then the frigate takes it up to a medium orbit, medium Earth orbit, transfer orbit, which is the apogee for that is a bit over 20,000 kilometers high. So it takes them about 3 hours to get to the top of that orbit and circularize, and then they separate the satellites. Those missions are quite long, and for me, I kind of like those missions because I always have the stream somewhere in the background while I do something else. Or actually, I used to do that before I started streaming those, but mostly when the streams take this long, I'll take a break. Unless it's in the middle of the night, then I just go sleep, because yes, I need sleep. Oh, hi Natasha. Welcome. Oh, all of you guys are here. Thank you. Yeah. My channel is I just was looking at the end of year stats with what I had compared to last year. I think I had the biggest growth for my channel in recent years, because I had, well, I'm still a small channel, so I had 60 more subscribers, and yes, I'm still planning loads of content. Still having my Spaceship 2 model in the works. I'll try and release a build video for that, but the thing is, every time I try and start that, but then I have to stop because I'm filming it, and it just, for me, it's just a mental thing, I guess, but it just think is the it takes more time to actually film it, and it's kind of true, but it's also me being lazy that I just want to finish that thing, but then I think, oh yeah, no, I need to film pieces of what I'm doing so I can actually put it on YouTube, and once it flies, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can fully show video of me constructing the complete vehicle. Um, but yeah, also my Rocket Talk videos are way too long for even for the. They should be around 10 minutes because yes, YouTube algorithms. So yeah, I'm going to try and work on that, and I'll probably rename it. So instead of Rocket Talk, I'll have Rocket Bytes with just a quick update on rockets or whatever. I don't know really what I'm going to do with that, but I'm going to try that with the Atlas 5. And also, my animating skills in those videos probably going to be better because the program I use to edit videos has been updated with keyframe animation, so I can actually use Illustrator to draw things and then animate it, which should be pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Yes, exponential is the key. So, guys, bring in 100 subs for next year, then I'm happy. But 120 roughly. But yeah, we'll see. I'll just try and do these launch hosts regularly if school permits and my work, of course. And yeah, I'll try and push out some mediocre content in the meanwhile. But yeah. Oh yes, they actually showed the rocket. Ooh, I like this. There we go. Yes. Let me interact with that. Then I need to see and project this on my screen so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yes. Ah, there we go. Finally. So yeah, these, if you look through your rocket, it's my right side of the rocket, but my camera is inverse, so I always get these mindfucks with the camera. But the left side, or the right side of the rocket, that's the two towers I was talking about. The first one will retract roughly 2.5 minutes before launch. Then the lower one, the blue one, will retract 28 seconds before launch. The lower swing arms will fall away once the rocket leaves the pad, and there are 4 more, well, actually 6 more, because 2 are connected to the core and 1 booster has each of them. There are arms which are literally the inverted style of what you had the swing arms right now, and they connect to the bottom of the booster, and I suspect they hold the booster once it gets up to full thrust, and then when they let go, the other arms where the rocket normally sits in just fall away. The fairing isn't actually, I don't even really know what the volume of the fairing is, but the Soyuz, why is this audio not? Huh. Could just be my headphones, but it sounds like they're... What's this, guys? Why? No. Why? Well, Should be able to hear it, guys. This is the French stream, but then narrated in English. Okay. Can't hear it. Okay. I can. So something. Um. It's unmuted. Is it still not audible? It's in French and narrated in English, or translated live in English anyway. Um. Hmm. No sound still? What's this? Webcast. Ah. Okay. Well, I don't know why. Last time it worked. Just do this. Ah, yes. How's it with me? It's good. How are you? How are you? Happy streaming. Last launch of 2020. Let me just actually reduce their audio a bit, so yeah, should be fixed right now. Rocket images, yay. About the fairing, this is actually an extended fairing from what the normal Soyuz fairing was. That's a good idea to have sort of a video. You're giving me good ideas. You're giving me inspiration. I'm actually gonna write that down. Hold on, I'll find out if I... This is yeah, we need to. It's sorry, but if they yeah, to be honest, if you have a I prefer subtitles instead of another translator talking over it. Then just don't bother with the translator and just put subtitles somewhere. But yeah, blah blah blah. I can mute them if you want. I can just talk. yeah, so this is going to happen. Then we'll have a telemetry hole, and right above Australia, they'll have the second burn to circularize the orbit. Then the satellite will separate. Then they'll do another burn with the frigate, so they have a sort of flyaway orbit. Um, this will happen again once they're above the launch site, so above the Galileo tracking station in sight. Yeah, there we go. Then they have a burn to go into a flyaway orbit. Then they'll have another coasting phase, and then finally they'll download the final data, do the entry or do the deorbit burn, so they won't leave this stage into into their orbit, and then they'll just deorbit the stage, so they won't leave any space junk. Yes. Um, Talking about the fairing, actually, um, um, the fairing is it's quite big. It was enlarged. This is also why the Soyuz is called the Soyuz STA. The ST stands for the ST fairing. The STA is this. You have a Soyuz A or B. A means that there is a RD-124 on the third stage, and otherwise it's a RD-110, or it might be the other way around. I can't remember those, but yes, it's either of those variants, and the one has lower thrust but higher ISP, and the other one has higher thrust but lower ISP. That's the general thing. So the B is the higher thrust one, and the A is the higher ISP one. And I actually believe I said it wrong, and the Soyuz STA is the one with the RD-110 on the second stage. Probably Energia Buran will correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, it's the difference between those two engines is what the A or B stands for. The fairing, I don't actually know. It's probably smaller than the Falcon 9 and Atlas and Delta, of course. But that's a good one. We should. That's a good one for Space Bite. That is fairing comparisons. I'll get back on that. Probably on the Discord, but yeah. Ah yes, nice videos of assembling the stage show. Yeah, those are actually the big struts that hold the boosters together, and the separating of the Soyuz boosters is actually quite interesting. The process, because what they do, of course, the core stage is going with the boosters and it's firing as a whole. But then a second before they shut down the outer boosters, those bottom struts get cut. So from the residual thrust of the engines, the boosters have a moment, and they fly outwards. So there's more clearance between the bottom of these stages. Then they cut off, and they fall out of their socket which they're in. So you can see that at the top connection between the boosters and the Soyuz stage. Then they fall out. A pin gets pulled, and the oxygen valve in the tank. So the top tank in the boosters is the oxygen tank. The top tank, the valve opens and it creates thrust, swinging away the booster, and that's how they separate. I should actually do that with some paper models, but yeah. I haven't gotten around to finishing my own model. But yeah, and what happened in the Soyuz MS-10 failure is that when the booster fell out of its socket, it actually didn't pull the pin, so the valve didn't open. So the top part of the stage hit the bottom of the core stage, and then boom, it exploded. Oh, guys, I have to say, I was talking about this earlier in the chat. That Roscosmos, if they are streaming and Arianespace is streaming as well, like they did with the Soyuz flight earlier this month, um, I prefer watching the Russians webcast purely because they have better visuals, and although it's in Russian, I completely don't understand. I enjoy it more just because this talk is, yes, it's good if you don't know what your rocket launch is about, but generally people that watch Arianespace don't really uh, follow space quite closely and are not just like, oh, there's a rocket launcher, let's watch this. I don't know what this mission is about. So yeah, I have to say, Arianespace could do better because right now we're at almost 2.5 minutes before launch and they're still talking. We should see the upper arm detach and retract in about 2 seconds. 25, 24. Let me take the webcast skit. 2 minutes and 24 seconds, but it's not happening. Could be that the mission timeline is completely wrong, which shouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it's just, I like Arianespace. Probably I'm a bit biased because I'm European, but I like that we have our own capability to launch rocket, and I think as European I should be proud of that. But the thing is that why this? This isn't French, I understand, but then at least do the English variant differently, or don't do it all, but give us just the rocket fuels, and just the telemetry calls of the mission director. Please, I want a technical webcast. But yeah, I'm a too small channel to even call them out for this. So yeah, you need to keep me keep adding subscribers to me by sharing my channel and saying to people, hey, this guy knows a lot about rockets. Watch his videos. Yeah, I love, same. But tech descriptions, they don't, they keep it. Oh, there we go. There the upper arm goes. Ah, yes, they're silent. There we go, ignition. Decollage. Yes, there we go. Woo! Final liftoff of 2020. Oh, that Soyuz in the jungle is just, oh, it looks so good. It's quite windy, but Soyuz doesn't care about bad weather. Reminds me of that one time the Soyuz got actually hit by lightning and it successfully completed its mission. Yeah, sadly. Although, I have to give it to them. If they have great tracking footage, they'll show you. Oh, there we go. Speed of sound. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, it's a lovely rocket. I hope they get close view on separation, because that should be coming up in roughly a minute at 1 minute 58. So give it a few seconds. 18 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Separation. That is pretty, that Korolev cross. Ah. And there it goes, continuing. Just checking on Discord. Yes. So 2 minutes, and yeah, nice shots, definitely. The 4 minutes 15 seconds is the next event. If you're wondering where I get the timelines from, if you go to Arianespace.com, they always share their mission timelines in advance, which, kind of cool. Oh, we don't have telemetry. This is fun. Oh no. Although we can still see it firing, so but no telemetry. I get flashbacks from the one Arian mission that went off course. Arianespace tracking cams are much better than. Nah, I don't really think that that onboard cameras are shitty. They need a combination of both. They need to show the tracking cam until you just literally see one light pixel, and then switch over to onboard imagery, which they don't have. They do have images on board, probably, but they don't show them, which is a shame. Oh, there we go. Telemetry is up. Oh, we should have. Yeah, we're kind of greedy. Yes, we know, but SpaceX changed the game. Not necessarily rocket-wise. Yes, reusable is cool, but it's not always the answer to cheap space flight. Sorry, don't hate me for that, but oh, there we go. Shut down, and that animation is actually wrong. Sorry for pointing it out, but the third stage actually ignites while the second stage is still burning, and then the second stage shuts down and falls away. That's why the lattice structure between the two stages is there. Oh, oh, lol. Okay, that wasn't Nightbot. You're not doing it a good job at. Sorry for that. That wasn't. It was like, oh, there's swearing going on. Bad Nightbot. But yeah. We're kind of greedy, yes, but SpaceX definitely changed the game in webcasting because they broadcast almost everything. So yeah. third stage flight. Um, third stage will go on until 8 minutes and 49 seconds. Oh, there my Christmas light go on. Yay! So yeah. Boron taken out by Nightbot, yeah. I'll take a look at that once the stream has ended, because this wasn't really something that it should do. Because yeah, well, you're taken out by Nightbot, yeah. Oh, fun fact, the satellite mass is around 3 tons, so it's not too heavy. I don't know what else fun fact I could throw in. You can actually see that it has quite a bit of acceleration at the end of the burn, because the trajectory is actually going up quite steeply. Yeah. Yeah, but Nightbot is really easy to just automatically spam that people should like, subscribe, and actually share this. Ooh. That telemetry is sketchy at the end, but yeah. Now we need Freyga to not mess it up, and then we're good. Do the fun fact about the Soyuz boosters not being attached to the rocket. Well, right now they're heading towards the Atlantic Ocean, and no, they're not recoverable. Well, probably if you put a parachute on it. They don't smash into the Kazakh, or actually they don't smash into the Russian wasteland, the nothingness, the steppes. So they can't recover these unless they pay Jeff Bezos to actually go there with a submarine and dig them up to use them as sort of technology for Blue Origin. Don't know what else I can say. Oh yeah, the core stage right now is going on a impact trajectory somewhere near the poles. Santa will get a gift from Arianespace. Um, uh, yeah, that core left cross was beautiful. Yes, definitely. Lack of onboard footage found. Yeah, but we know that already from Arianespace. They don't. For some reason, they don't transmit live telemetry footage from the vehicle, which is a shame because they can definitely put up crank up their quality with some footage of onboard. especially on Arian flights. But yeah, they never do that, sadly. Well, also, Vegas would look pretty cool on board. They promised it on Arian 6. Well, I'll have to see before I can actually believe that. But yeah, hopefully. Yeah, Arian 6. 2022. No. I don't know. Is it still 2021? I don't think it is. But yeah. Hopefully, yes. So yeah, 2022. What's my opinion on Arian 6? Um, Pretty cool, probably. Gonna be a big upgrade on top of Arian 5. Um, Sorry for the people that are bashing. It's still expendable. Blah, blah. If you go to GTO, it's actually pretty competitive with SpaceX Falcons. Yeah, COVID is part of it, and the launch pad had some delays, and the rocket itself had some yeah, delays as well. Sintin Soyuz, yeah. Well, Sintin Soyuz is probably as useful as a aerospike on a water stage. Um, oh, I need to actually do that on Nightbot work. Don't diss Arianespace. Well, they use a water stage. Who the fuck? Okay, child friendly. Who the act? Who in their righteous mind uses water as a first stage? Because it has, yes, maybe a good thrust to weight ratio, a good thrust, but it has shit ISP, which means you literally probably can. You can't throw your second stage that far. Arianespace would probably have a good impact on naval boiler markets. Yes! Makes great tea, yes. Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah, Arca did block me on Twitter, so I can dish them all they dish them dish. Wow, I can diss them all they want. Well, they put out like a week ago. They still want to test the first stage of their eco rocket in the dynamic test stand before the end of the year, which probably is not gonna happen. So yeah, they have a literally they have a SpaceX has an aggressive timeline. We all know that, but they took that, compressed it literally by 50%, and then said yes, by next summer we're gonna have a fully operational rocket with water. Yes. Yeah, I already explained that. That for Arca, the second stage aerospike doesn't make any sense, and neither does it on the first stage because it flies through such a low regime. It doesn't add anything else. Quite how. Technically, well, funny thing, a friend of mine, for one of his school projects, he actually calculated a water rocket, just pressurized air and water, how tall it had to be to get into low Earth orbit. Which I should ask him. It's probably worth making a video about, but yeah. I don't know if he's watching. He sometimes watches my streams, but yeah. If you're watching this, we should definitely see if we can finish the math on that and get a design for that. Make a video about that. Yeah. Well, if you have carbon fiber and you pressurize air above the water, you can actually go pretty high. Yeah. 18 minutes. We should be coming up on frigate shutdown. 29 seconds. 18 minutes, 29 seconds. So 10 more seconds, hopefully. Yeah. And the reason why the callouts are delayed is the telemetry does get onto the ground on European tracking stations, but then it gets relayed to Russia, to Moscow actually. They verify the data, then they tell the mission director in Kourou that it's okay, and then he calls it out. So that's why there's such a delay. Yeah, it's a very. He's just relaxed. He know. In Soviet Russia, we know rockets work when we light them, not like those cheap Italian rockets that just go boom once you launch them in the air. Yes, that was a Vega. No, Vega's cool. It's just annoying that they had these two failures almost in a row. Yes. They actually missed the call out. What? Ah! Can't they please go to break? Ugh. Verstožni. Sounds like you sneeze. Verstožni. But yeah. Although the Vostochny Cosmodrome was supposed to take astronauts to the ISS from I don't know when, but they're planning on it. But it's a bit on hold. Yeah, because well, talking about Soyuz, they actually want to decommission the Baikonur Cosmodrome because this they rent it from the Kazakh government. Actually, they rent the piece of land on which it's located, and they're in the process of moving everything over to either Vostochny or what is the other cosmodrome called? Um, Plesetsk, Vostochny, and they have another one, I think, or is it just Vostochny and Plesetsk? Anyway, they're in the process of moving the launches to there, And so instead of launching crew from Baikonur, they're actually going to launch it from Vostochny, which is closer to the sea, so that they can also go into lower inclination orbits. Because the actual reason the ISS is in a 51.6 degree orbit is because they couldn't launch lower from Baikonur. Otherwise, they would be dropping stages on China, which China didn't like at the time, although they apparently changed their mind. I'm on fire today. No, I'm team all space. Just yeah. It's just funny that they weren't allowed to drop stages on China, although China has made their own space program and they are now dropping stages on their own land, which they're finding out isn't really that good. So they're now switching most launches over to next to the sea. Oh, I've been live streaming for an hour. Ah, yes. Um. But yeah, 2021. Looking forward. Next year, probably it's going to be a good year for space flight. Uh, yeah. Are they gonna talk for the entire hour? Hopefully not. Yeah, Starship Orbital in 2021. It's gonna be late 2021 or is it gonna be 2022? To be honest, I don't see it happening in 2021. Uh, Blue, uh, Blue Glen. It's New Glen, but yeah, New Glen likely towards the end of the year. Maybe they're making big progress, although we can't see it. They are, and they're delivering the engines for the Vulcan in the first or second quarter of this year or of next year. So yeah, there's no. Everybody says there's no chance of SLS. I do see it launching in 2020 in 2021. Just because they are already stacking the boosters, and the boosters have a sort of sell by date, so they can't actually launch it in 2022. It's either 2021 or late 2022. Be not probably not late 2022, but then they have to de-stack the whole vehicle again. So, but yeah, SLS is definitely launching in 2021. I would be able to. I'm willing to bet on that. That it launches in 2021. Not sure about Starship because I could see them launching somewhere in November or December orbital, although unlikely. I could see it happening. Um, SLS not hot firing in Q1 is unlikely. They did succeed with the wet dress rehearsal, although they had some problems in the countdown. Should be fixed. they saying that they did have problems with of course, with the pandemic, and we've had a very active hurricane year, which three or four of those hurricanes actually slammed into the um, coast, in the Gulf Coast, or the near the test site. So they had some problems with that. So seeing it slip to 2022, 2021 isn't that bad. But the point, my point being, if they have even if they have the hot fire in March, that leaves enough time to launch it in November. Do keep in mind that they had 4 months of margin. They have used that, use half of that, maybe 3 months. But yeah, I'm willing to bet. I'm betting on SLS in 2021. But anyway, if it launches in the beginning of 2022, uh, although it really can't, because it has to launch in November, or they have to destack the whole vehicle. Yeah, sure. You know me. Yes, I want to bet. I'm not gonna bet 100 euros on that, because that would be probably not the smartest idea. But yeah, orange rocket eventually. Yes, of course. But I'm willing to bet on that. Or how much? Let's say 10 euros. Do you want more? I'm willing to bet on those. Because no, my time ish line. I'm not that far off most of the times. Coffee? Sure. I'm gonna put that in the Discord and pin it so we can find it again. Launch has to succeed. No, it's just about launching. It doesn't have to succeed. Although, SLS failing on its first flight, Yeah, although I don't see. Um, uh, I don't see Starship being picked for HLS. I think national team will be picked for the first landing. Although NASA is kind of going the opposite direction a bit, so I'm not really sure about that. But in my mind, the national team has the strongest team. Starliner. No, it's just about SLS launching and not. And I didn't say anything about success, but uh, um, a Starliner type bet. Well, if it launches, I think it's gonna be successful. I don't. Oh, they're certainly gonna show us this stuff for the whole hour before the separation, but A week without coffee. Uh, Everybody's talking about the huge ladder, which isn't really that big of a deal because it's low gravity. So I've had the a discussion about this with someone in our Discord. He's like, "Yeah, what if your spacesuit gets punctured?" Well, if if your spacesuit gets punctured and it has a big enough hole, you're dead anyway because it takes. Yeah, that's true. Elevators should be safer, but the they'll probably climb the ladder like they do with EVAs. They'll have two tethers hooking them up. Yes, it takes longer to get up, and in an emergency, you can actually get up pretty quick if you don't tether yourself. But I don't see the big ladder as being the one thing. But the national team has one big pro, which is that they actually can mine their fuel on the moon and refuel with a lunar economy and not bring stuff from the Earth like Dynetics and um, Starship have to do. Angara burn, yes. Okay, but Simon, I'm not gonna bet 50 euros on that, but 10, 15 euros? Are you willing to bet that? Simon will probably take the bet, knowing him. Lunar economy is not interested in. Well, technically speaking, they can reuse the ascent stage and the transfer stage from the first flight onwards. If they just leave it there, um, or if they find the using of the lunar ice before they actually land there for the first time, they they could refuel and um, launch the descent stage, of course. But if they get a refueling vehicle, they can launch it from the moon to lunar orbit. And the thing with that is that it takes less delta V from to go from the moon to lunar orbit than from the moon than from the Earth's surface to the moon. So yes, yeah, we should place our bets in the Discord. Why? Why is this necessary? Sorry, they're ranting about Arianespace. Why? Normally you just put the stream on pause and be like, oh yeah, we'll back when the satellite separates. Now they're just gonna talk for 50 minutes long. Why? Thank you for listening to my Arianespace rant. Yeah. No, but the thing is, they have started stacking the boosters of the SLS, so they're kind of obliged to make a not later than November 21 launch date happen. Yeah, it's just I could load up KSP, have the stream in the background muted, launch the Soyuz, and then it would be more interesting than listening to this. Yes, KSP. Hold on. Let me do a thing. I don't know if I even have Soyuz mods as well. Let's go. Can't hear the stream anyway, lucky me. Yes. Yeah, I probably put the audio a bit too low, but it's not a big loss. If it was fully English, might have been a bit. Oh, it didn't like that. I'm actually gonna create a channel in my Ooh, if this keeps happening, I probably am not gonna load up KSP. It doesn't like this for some reason. Oof. Yeah, probably the same. I could probably understand bits of French, and otherwise we have fully. Okay, sorry guys, KSP is not gonna happen today. Sadly, my OBS isn't liking me booting up KSP before before I finish the stream. So yeah, probably another time. Yeah, it's just that the narrating of this isn't necessary because we could use probably subtitles would be fine. Yeah, it's annoying. Ugh. OBS is like OC. I don't know what OCD stands for, but OBS is Open Broadcasting Software, and I'm using a different version of it. But it's my broadcasting software. But I believe this is still set to my GPU, so it takes a lot of processor power. Don't know though. No, it's set to my my bitrate is quite kind of lowish. No, no, it does process on my video card, but for some reason my CPU doesn't like it when I boot up KSP and it starts buffering this. So, oh, yes, yes, OCD of course. I have to say my brain is in some kind of holiday mood, so it doesn't work as well as normally. Well, that's not really true, but yeah. Eh, yes, it is OCD, but then for for streaming or yes. Yeah, holiday mood, of course, yes. No, because we're locked down anyway here, so nothing else to do except for streaming rocket launches, but yeah, no. Yes. Yeah. 2020, I'm nah, semi happy-ish that 2020 is over because on one side it was kind of a good year, but then COVID and it made it a bad year. So yeah. Yeah, if they are gonna keep this going like this, uh, uh, yeah, things have been good in 2020. It's just land space or link space. What aren't those Chinese? Well, hop simultaneously brewing beer. Yes. Well, um, technically speaking, a 100-kilometer hop would still be a hop because it's just going up and down. It's just you're jumping really far. Yeah. Um, yes. There should be once they get acquisition of signal above new. What is that station called? Is it New Norcia? At least above Australia, then they. Suborbital flight is something which is not orbital. So, technically speaking, when you jump from your floor to. If you just stand up, jump, that's also suborbital flight. Uh, Further than an orbital is you're either on high, a parabolic or a hyperbolic trajectory, depending on what the speed is. Now, suborbital is only used when you're when when the closest point to your body of whatever you're going from is not outside of the surface. Thank you for watching. It keeps me going. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go as well because I'll wait until they separate the satellites, then I'll end it as well because I was actually planning to put a break in the in between, but they just keep talking. Yeah, sub is less than, so. But if your orbit is higher, if your orbit goes outside of the sphere of influence, so if it shoots you outside of the sphere of influence, you're on either a hyperbolic or um, a a parabola is at least exactly one, but mostly your trajectory is then hyperbolic because yes, it's not super orbital. That's I don't think that's even a term. Hold on, let me look it up. No, super orbital. Well, okay, you're kind of right. It does imply a period greater than an orbital period, but yeah. Well, it's all relative. it's all if you look relative to a body, if you uh, uh, tell yourself that body is stationary, you're going away from there. So that implies a super a super orbital, yes. Until you're out of the sphere of influence, then you're out there. Not when you're still inside of the sphere of influence. Yes, you're going out there, but you're still super orbital. Not. Yeah. When when a small channel talks about rockets and kind of unrelated stuff, and it's more interesting than the actual mission going on, mind blown. But yeah. Ooh, nuclear reactors. Those I for some reason I like nuclear reactors is something which, from a technical perspective, is really interesting. It's cool. Yeah. By the way, NASA got finally. They have money for nuclear reactor propulsion or nuclear propulsion, which finally that's going to be next level fuel or next level propulsion because it has super high ISP, bit of low thrust, but the ISP is quite high. Iron propulsion. Iron propulsion is good, but it's not has high thrust. So nuclear propulsion, if we ever get it, yes, that's gonna be good. So the nuclear propulsion will only be used in the space and not in the atmosphere. Never seen Nerva again. Yes, no, Nerva's cool. If you look at it, it's quite. It's like a hybrid between ion propulsion um, and super efficient hydrogen oxygen propulsion. If you look at it ISP and thrust wise, it's somewhere in the middle. Yes, but you're kind of neglecting the fact that Cassini had two um, nuclear reactors on board. Mars, or actually Curiosity had it. The Perseverance has it. Um, how many probes have we launched with nuclear reactors on board? There are quite a bit. Plus, both Mars exploration rovers, so Spirit and Opportunity, had uranium pellets inside to keep the electronics warm. Um, what else did have nuclear RTGs? Yeah, okay, they're not reactors; they're RTGs. Radio isotope thermal nuclear generators. Yes, it's true. It's not really reactors. Ah, yes, Russian nuclear reactors in orbit. But yeah, there's launching RTGs. There's never been a reignition. Yeah, it was short. They don't even pay attention to it. Ah, I didn't watch Shame. Did your stream work or not? Uh, it took such a long time, like I said, because the data is actually relayed from the ground station to the Russian mission control. Then they relay it back to the launch site, which takes a few seconds because the Russians need to verify the milestone and then it gets changed. Ooh. Yes, that killed your Wi-Fi. Oof. Well, now we just have separation to go. But yeah, saying that it's bad to launch reactors into space. Well, it's not a. Yeah, it is a reactor, but. There's an 80-year-old man holding a camera and going around their employees. Yes. Uh, Let me see. 59 minutes and 37 seconds should be separation of the satellite. Was gonna leave there after separation, then I realized roads just closed in Boca Chica. Yeah. Although they're just doing cryo today, right? Or at least from my sources, or the guy that has sources. He said it's just gonna be cryo today. So I'm still predicting flight in the second week of January. Might be earlier, but that's my prediction. Down the YouTube rabbit hole. Well, um, yes. Vega. By the way, Vega C is supposed to launch next year. That's also something to look forward to. Can't wait for SM9 to go boom. I don't know if it's gonna do boom. It might, but then why should it? Because last time it went okay, but then saying, oh, there we go. Séparation. Vega C is not bad. Vega C is better than Vega. Fight me. No. Angry pizza noises. No. Vega is good. It's just that they've been a bit unfortunate with the flights, so yeah. Okay, Nightbot bad. What is this? He's not even spamming caps. Okay, I'm gonna disable the spamming thingy from Nightbot. I really need to remind myself to do that. Yes, lost Soyuz. Well, technically, it's not really. Oh, give me a reason why Vega should be bad. Okay, I'm gonna just turn them off. It's just happy successful mission, yay! Um, give me a reason. No, it's just Vega is it was quite reliable until we had the 2 failures, but yeah, it's I don't hate it. I don't think there's a reason to hate it. Oh, now the webcast keeps on going. What? I don't get it. Why? Cause it's ugly. Vega gonna spin. Spinala. Pronto, Vega? Spinala. Yes. No. It's not ugly. Okay, Vega is prettier than the Vega C. Vega is a pretty rocket. Hold on. Fight me. I have models. Yes, Vega good. Fight me. No, but they're actually gonna make this stage bigger, which makes it kind of look ugly-ish. But yeah, Vega E, that's where it's at. Vega C is gonna be an okayish upgrade, and Vega E is gonna be the big upgrade. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. It was a bit busier than my streams are. Pronto Vega, this has been a lot, yes. If you guys don't get it, it's a Formula 1 joke, so yes. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you have a good end of the year. If you're going to light fireworks, be sure you keep all your 10 fingers. I'm not going to do much fireworks because, yes, it's banned this year here. Yeah, probably no more launches for this year, although it's only, 3 more days this year? 2 actually. Yeah, see you in 2021. Go to my Discord. That's where I'll keep my subscribers mostly updated. Yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video. Keeps me going. More stuff to go. Probably put into everything I do will be put in the Discord, because yes, that's what my Discord is for. You guys would get to know things first. Yeah, so they're in 2021 revamping my channel. Told all you guys about this. Go join Discord. Thank you for watching my stream, and yes, see you guys the next time. Bye.